Indeed, Pat and Micah, this is the worst wildfire season on record in the history of the state of Oregon. So far this year, the fast-moving wildfires have laid waste to some 950,000 acres, leaving untold damage, scorched earth, and now a worsening air pollution crisis. Here in the city of Lyons, in rural Oregon, just about 50 miles outside of Portland, the Beachy Creek Fire, which is one of the most destructive in the history of the state, has incinerated nearly the entire community.
Yeah, everything burned.
In the long journey to contain the raging wildfires,
Yep, that's the print right there.
a single footprint stands out.
One of the firefighters that fought the back, it was so hot, his boot caught fire and he stepped on the grass and actually burned in its exact footprint. And we really have to praise these firefighters for what they've done. You know, risking their lives for material things.
Brian Yarbury of Mill City says firefighters saved his son's home in Lyons.
Very lucky the house survived.
But much of the community did not. The home is now surrounded by scorched earth, blackened trees, and destroyed buildings, reduced to ash and rubble, some still smoldering. Heavy smoke lingers in the air as a reminder of the hazards that remain. But Yarbury says with so many people displaced, turning communities into ghost towns, he says the biggest threat is to his home, not his health.
Residents, some of us stayed.
Why?
To protect the property as much as we could. It's hard to put into words, you know. Some of us was very lucky, others was not lucky, and there's nothing anyone could have done about it.
One of them is Brad Needham, who returned to his Lyons home to collect the only possession that remains.
I'm pulling my trailer out to go take it to get it fixed so we can live in it.
His home was destroyed when a wall of flames raged through the Santiam Canyon area where he lives on the North Santiam River.
Our house is gone. It's burnt to the ground.
He says there's no choice but to be resilient and rebuild, knowing the journey will be long, but it begins with a single step.
There'll be grass here next year, and we'll replant trees, and it'll be better.
Now, up until just about a couple of hours ago, the area we're standing in was under a level 3 evacuation zone, which essentially means no one should be here. That level has since been eased to a level 2, which means people can start returning to their property. But many people are returning this afternoon only to find that their homes are gone. Reporting live in rural Oregon, Mike Lowe, WGN News.
And still, I marvel at their good attitudes, Mike.
Indeed, there are a lot of people who say there is no other choice but to be resilient and know that they are going to someday rebuild, but right now they are still in the middle of this crisis. As we said, the most destructive fire in the history of the state of Oregon, the Beachy Creek Fire, is still only about 15% contained, meaning it's still raging over about 190,000 acres. So there are threats to both life and property. And then, of course, added to all of that is this this dense smoke that is just everywhere in this area, creating a very dangerous health hazard for most people who don't have a place to go inside to get away from it. So certainly a lot to deal with here, but the human spirit is resilient, and we see that in many people here in this part of the country.